Why, hello, everybody. It is me, Ahmed, again with Ahmed's Entertainment. And I brought back Mr. Gerardo for All Sports with Gerardo. And Gerardo, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that it's finally April. I can count down the days until the end of the semester and to the end of my college days. I remember when I was a senior in high school getting excited for graduation, and it's that time again. I can't believe it. College is almost done for me, but I'm definitely excited that that's coming to an end now that we're in April and baseball is finally back.
Yes, baseball. You mentioned it. So, baseball, how was the games? And how was the game like a couple weeks ago at the Rocky Stadium?
It was a great environment. I was so happy to be back. Believe it or not, it was a year and a half since the last time I was in there. Actually, a week before my 21st birthday. It was September 2019. So it was definitely a long time. I was definitely looking forward to it. The Rockies started the season here at Coors Field, and they usually play great on opening day. They won the game. It was a great game. Opening day is like an unofficial holiday. It's such a great day, no matter what team you root for. The Rockies usually play great on opening day. They did win that game, and I'm just glad to see baseball's back. I definitely missed it last season. Didn't look like a season was going to happen, but there was a short season. It sucked that fans were not allowed, but I'm glad that fans are allowed this season. There's no doubt that it was definitely a different experience and environment just because of all the COVID restrictions, but it's a long season. I was just happy to be back, and hopefully it goes back to the way it usually is later on this season.
So, when you were, I've been hearing a lot of your, uh, interviews or with the program that you've been doing with podcasting with All Sports with Gerardo. Are you gonna continue on talking about baseball because it's kind of like a huge thing right now for Colorado because it's gonna be like in the all what if you could explain it to me, what is that
All
exactly that they're gonna do?
the All-Star game. So basically, every year they choose a certain stadium to choose the All-Star game. They rotate it around between all 30 teams, and the teams that have nice stadiums or newer stadiums get to host them. In the last 2 decades, we've had a lot of new stadiums be built and replaced by old stadiums. So this All-Star game has been rotating around. The last time it was at Coors Field was in 1998. I wasn't even born yet. And Coors Field opened in 1995. So this will be the second time that Coors Field gets to host the All-Star game. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I've only watched him on TV. I've never been to him, and I'm so excited. Originally, this All-Star game was supposed to be in Atlanta, but they landed up pulling it out of Atlanta and choosing Coors Field here in Denver. They couldn't have chose a better place. Atlanta has a new stadium. I was looking forward to that. I'm assuming it'll go back one of these years, but I'm really excited it's coming to Coors Field. And they chose Coors Field because they were going to choose them within the next 5 years because they were due for an all-star game. And with the renovations to Coors Field, there's no reason why it shouldn't have come back. It's a nice ballpark, even though it's the third oldest ballpark in the National League. It doesn't look like it's one of the oldest. It's actually one of the well, not coming from just a Rockies fan because it's the only stadium I've been to. I've been to all of them and I've seen them all, and it's definitely one of the nicest. And I'm looking forward to this big game coming this summer. And they couldn't have chose a better place. And there's no doubt that Coors Field will definitely impress whoever comes to Denver and whoever's watching the All-Star game around the country.
That's good. Well, you know, my show is all about anime and video games. And today, since we're talking about baseball, I want to show you an episode of an anime, and it is called Miracle Giants Dome Kun. So, you know the Giants team, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so right now I will be sharing my screen. Let's just go onto YouTube and here, click on it, and I'm gonna make this big. And I want your reaction and I want you to watch it.
Not only is baseball really popular here in the US, it's also popular in other countries around the world. You can see that they're showing Tokyo Dome, and even Major League Baseball has played a couple games out there in Tokyo. There's teams in Japan, a really well known player, no doubt one of the best players to play in Major League Baseball, and he's also from Japan. Ichiro Suzuki came from Japan, such a great player, definitely one of my favorite players. And regardless of where you live, baseball is well liked around the world, especially not just here in the US, but down in Mexico, Japan, many other countries too. The Major League Baseball has definitely played some games out there at the Tokyo Dome. The Rockies are very familiar with the Giants. Giants do play in the National League West. We play them many times every year, and we've had many great games against the Giants. Very familiar with this team. Looks like they're playing the Cincinnati Reds. If it's not the Cincinnati Reds, that is definitely their logo. It looks like there's a lot of Giants fans out there at the Tokyo Dome. There's no doubt that the people of Japan definitely like baseball. They root for their baseball teams. And even when Major League Baseball has played games at that Tokyo Dome, they definitely show up and support baseball. Usually always see a sold out stadium there at the Tokyo Dome. Looks like everyone's looking forward to this matchup. There's a lot of fans in the stands. But for the pitcher, it looks like he's expecting someone to watch him, and he happened to look in the stands and see an empty seat. I'm assuming it's someone he knows that was supposed to come and watch him. He looks a little bit disappointed, but this Tokyo Dome definitely has a sellout crowd, and there's a lot of people waiting to see this game. Looks like the game's getting ready to begin, and everyone's just waiting to see what happens, even the opposing team and all the fans in the stands. So far, the pitcher's starting off great. So far, this pitcher has been throwing some strikes. It's definitely hard to be on both sides of the baseball, regardless if you're pitching or at the plate. I would say it's really hard to play both positions because as a batter, you don't really know what the pitcher's going to throw. And as a pitcher, you're just hoping that the batter can't hit the ball out. From watching many baseball games, sometimes it's really hard to tell what type of pitch you're going to get and if you're going to be able to hit it. Some pitches that you get look like they're hittable and they really can get to you. Now the Giants played good to lead off this inning, and now we have to see how the Reds are going to pitch. So far, this Reds pitcher looks like he's going to be pitching great in this game as well. No matter if this becomes a pitching or hitting game, it's definitely a great game. No matter if you see the pitchers pitching great or the hitters hitting a lot of baseballs out coming from both sides, it's definitely great to see a great game played, no matter if it's going to come down to being a pitching game or a hitting game. Definitely looks like a lot of people are tuning into this game, no matter if they're at the Dome or they can't watch this game in person. This definitely looks like a matchup people have been waiting for. They're definitely not going to miss it, no matter if they're watching it or listening to this game. The fans in the stands are on the edge of their seats just waiting to see what's going to happen. No one really knows what's going to happen. So far, it looks like it's a great game. For a minute, it looked like we were going to have the first hit of the game, but it came down to being a strike. So far, this game has turned out to be a really good pitching matchup. We're going to have to wait and see what happens and who will get the first hit of the game.
So I'm showing you this episode because I want to show you what's going to happen. So it's maybe this will be in the future. But look, because me and you were not even born in this era. And I want you to see what's the reaction with the people right now.
Looks like we got the first hit of the game and everyone's in shock, waiting to see where this baseball's going to land. Looks like it landed up being an out and not a base hit. We almost had the first hit of the game. The batter definitely looks in shock because he thought he had it and just didn't work out. Looks like the Giants pitcher's taunting him like, ha ha ha, you almost got it, but I still got the best of you. Still got a scoreless game. It's come down to a great pitching matchup so far. Batter hit a foul ball and landed up breaking his bat in half.
That happened one time?
I've definitely seen this happen, even where the bat has come out of the batter's hands and go into the stands. I've seen it happen a few times. Now, when a bat lands up coming out of the batter's hands and flying into the stands, very dangerous. They landed up putting nets up and down the first and third baseline. Incident like that doesn't happen because having a bat just fly out of someone's hands, it's unpredictable where the bat's going to land or what it's going to do compared to a baseball popping up and being a foul ball. Still got a scoreless game and a long game to go. It's definitely been a great pitching matchup, but we're waiting for this first hit of the game and who's going to land up scoring and possibly winning this game. Looks like we got another broken bat, and someone's trying to rush to the Tokyo Dome to watch this game. Broken bats are not that common, but they can happen every now and then. It looks like even fans that did not make it to the Tokyo Dome are still tuning in and watching this game. Closest hits we have seen are foul balls. Still waiting for that big hit and for someone to score in this game. Great pitching, they're great to see, but it's definitely more entertaining when you see some hits and see some runs scored on the board. Looks like the Giants player got a new bat and it's his lucky bat, and have to wait and see what happens here. Looks like we're about to witness a big hit of the game. Something that we've been waiting for the entire game. Just by the pitcher's reaction, he kind of knows this ball is out of here.
Okay, so you watched the whole episode. So what do you think about it?
That was a great game. It was definitely a great matchup. Regardless if it's a pitching or hitting, they're definitely great games to watch. And I have seen that reaction when a hitter finally gets the hit they need. And when that pitcher drops like that, they know that's it. That was the end of it. But it was definitely anime to watch.
Well, what did you think of the reaction when he hit the ball and it turned out to be that the player is a woman?
That was great to see. It just showed me that it doesn't matter what gender you are, both can play sports. We even see it in real life that both genders play sports that some people say are only for men. And even now, we see women advocating that they want to play football just like men do. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But I have seen some women get in and play football on the field, regardless if it's high school or college football and maybe a professional women's league's coming up sometime in the future. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Well, do you think that it's going to be kind of like a mix with men and women playing together? So, like what you saw in the episode?
I could definitely see that because the opportunities that women have gotten, especially this one in college football not too long ago, she played with men on the field. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of tough women out there, and there's a lot of women out there that would play with men. It doesn't intimidate them, even though like basketball, tennis, and soccer, where they have their own league, just man and woman, there's women that wouldn't be intimidated playing with all men. And we've definitely witnessed that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen even more. We've definitely seen women coach men teams, regardless of their head coach or assistant head coach, and we're definitely going to see women, especially the NBA, wind up coaching an NBA team that's all men.
So, my question is so I showed you this anime before, but in my language, but this is in the Japanese. Will you watch it?
It was a great anime, and I liked a lot of these animes you showed. Like, it doesn't matter what sport it is, almost every sport, or maybe all of them, I don't know for sure, have an anime associated with that sport.
Well, I'm going to send you the name of it just to make sure, because I'm going to give you a challenge in the future that next time you will not give me a promise when you have a time to watch it. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter with the language. I understand is that you need a little bit of English to understand what's happening, but this is kind of like a story that you might be interested in baseball, because you've seen a lot of stories like this before.
And it was definitely interesting. It almost reminded me of watching a game. You didn't know what was going to happen. It was a good game, and one play could change the game. And then definitely witnessed that in this anime. And I like those type of games, regardless if it's baseball or a different sport.
But what I want to ask you is about the reaction of the graphics of when somebody throw the pitch. So, he has some kind of a name, when, he throws a pitch or something, like when he throws the ball. What's your reaction when you saw he threw the ball, like that, all that graphics that comes in from the anime world?
It was a great graphic of that anime. It almost looked like a real life game being played. And after he threw that pitch and seen that batter hit it, the way he reacted, I've definitely seen that in real games many times. And when someone drops or makes that face, especially as a pitcher, they know that's it and that ball's out. And 99% of the time does that happen. But he just knew that was the end.
Well, there are a lot of animes that's coming based on baseball as well. But I don't know what's their professional team is always the Giants. But the lady, which is Andy, that was playing with the pitcher, and they're like actually younger age. They're like minors, actually. Younger than minors too, that they're playing in a field. So that's how the story is. What does the C mean? Is it the Cubs, do you believe, or is it a different team?
It is the Cincinnati Reds. If you look at their hat, especially, that is their logo. Sometimes they have it on their jerseys, but they are always wearing a hat with that logo, and that is one of their main logos.
So another question is, because I'm going to repeat it again, you would watch this anime, would you?
Yes, it was definitely interesting. It reminded me of watching the many games I watched in the past, and it definitely had an interesting ending to it.
Exactly. So this is All Sports with Gerardo. Please follow him on Instagram, YouTube as well, and the MSU page. And if you would love to follow me too as well, I'm on the MSU page as well. It's Ahmed's Entertainment. And I'm on YouTube as well. Thank you so much, Gerardo, for being in the show. I really do appreciate that. And I, wish you the best of luck in the future about graduation and all that fun stuff. I wish I was there. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just to make sure, let you know that he has a show coming up, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, what could you tell us about that?
Yes, so I also DJ. I go by Turning It with DJ Cruz, and I will be performing live for the first time next Friday at the Roxy Theater down in Denver. It's not the only opportunity. I know Ahmed will not be able to make it, but I told him there's always an opportunity for next time, and there is also one in May as well towards the end. So if you can't make it out to the April one, there's one in May, and it looks like there will be one for at least every month. So if you can buy tickets, come watch it. It's definitely going to be a great time. If you can't make it, that's fine. If you still want to support Turning It with DJ Cruz, regardless if you can come or can't come, you can still buy tickets for a low price of $12. Anything helps, and I definitely love the support, and I definitely want to be able to play when I can. And by you all buying tickets, it lets me be able to perform longer and to be able to have the opportunity to keep performing live at a venue.
And don't forget my birthday. So you know you're still invited.
And I
Yeah.
know you up next week, but if you can, I'm doing one at the end of May, and you're definitely more than welcome to come.
I appreciate that. I will show up. Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, guys, this is my episode, my show. So if you are really interested, just let you know there is All Sports with Gerardo and there's Ahmed's Entertainment. Please follow us on MSU Denver page and give us our comments. And I hope you guys, I hope I'll see you next. I mean, we hope to see you next time or next semester as well with this opportunity. And Gerardo, thank you so much because you shared me a lot of passion and love and hope of anime. So, this is like my kind of thing that, and, when you coming as a guest, it is really an honor to have you to watch anime and or video games as well.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. I definitely enjoyed it. It's something different. I like it. There's no doubt about that. And it's always great to see you, talk to you, and even be a part of your show. So thank you for this opportunity. I know I'm getting ready to graduate from college, and that chapter of my life is coming to an end. I don't know what comes up next, but I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter and saying goodbye to this chapter and moving on to the next thing in my life. But thank you for this opportunity, and I definitely like being a part of entertainment with a man.
All right. Have a good one, Gerardo. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.